In this case, I will present the multiplanar approach to the anomaly of the fetal brain. Let's do the orientation first. So I will bring my pivot point from here to the midline in A plane, and afterwards I will perform some Z rotation to bring the midline horizontally. So I will start with selecting the reference image A, and I activated the pivot point. Then I go for Z rotation here, and I check if my B plane is also horizontally in regards to the midline. I'll correct it a bit. Let's make it a bit bigger. So looking at this multiplanar, you can see several characteristics. The pivot point is placed at the level of the third ventricle. And you can see the third ventricle in all the three planes. In the sagittal plane, which is here the C plane, the complex of cavum septum pellucidi and corpus callosum is not evident. So you suspect the midline problem here. And let's have a look at the B plane, which is the coronal cut of the fetal brain, and see the very, very characteristic feature, which is the three-line sign. The midline presents the folks, which reaches here the roof of the third ventricle, because this is the third ventricle. And why we have three lines here? Because of the separation of the two hemispheres. So instead of one line in normal brain, where two hemispheres are adjacent one to another, here you have this separated view. You can also review the A plane, because the separation can be demonstrated there. I will reduce the magnification. I will select the A plane, and I will initiate tomographic imaging. This is tomography. I need to increase the distance between the slices. So I'll do into 4 millimeters here. So from this image, you can see that the hemispheres are separated. Okay. Here you can see the typical BPD view where the third ventricle is seen and no cavum septum pellucidi is visualized. Here at the level of the transventricular level, you can see that the ventricles are slightly dilated. We can measure them here. So I go to the generic distance, and I will measure this in the asterisk slice. The measurement shows the ventriculomegaly. And normally, as you can see, the cases are referred because of the ventriculomegaly, but here we have the abnormality of the brain behind. So by multiplanar approach and by tomography, you can discover the characteristics of this anomaly.